Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night podcast. Please get your questions in early. I'm saying it because I didn't make the intro in time. So please get your questions in early. You can put them in all capital letters, put question before it when you do it. That way you'll get them in early, make sure they're answered. I am joined by my co-host Rod, Picking and Punching. Yay! Along with Dan from Dan and Dan. Okay,
that's my gimmick. You can't steal my move, bro.
I had to show you up.
and Mike from January House. They've been on with us before, but I'm going to make these gentlemen big, let them introduce themselves, and then we will start the questions. So Dan is in the hot seat tonight, so we're going to let Dan go first. Here he is.
Short and sweet. I get so nervous introducing myself. My name is Dan. I go by Dan and Demand on YouTube. I was going to say in Indiana. I'm from Indiana, and I'm a reseller. I've been reselling for 4 years now, and I resell mainly clothing and shoes. And that's about it. I have a dog named Dodger too. I want to shout out Dodger.
What kind of dog?
He's a terrier mix. Where's he at? I don't know where he's at. He looks like Dodger from Oliver and Company.
Yeah.
Aww.
Hence the name Dodger.
There you go.
Yep. Listen. All right. Here's Mike.
Hey, everyone. I am Mike, the January House. I'm a reseller here out of Central Pennsylvania. I do a live auction on YouTube Sunday night, 7:00 p.m. Eastern on my channel, January Auction House. So if that interests you, stop on by. We always have a great time in the chat. And thanks to Kat and Rod for having me on again.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And I gotta get Kat a new picture of of my face. With
I didn't have time. I didn't forget. I didn't have time to upload Rod's super chat though. And yes, you do need a new picture. You're right. Mm-hmm. But I cheated and just like stole the thumbnail from last time because I was short on time. Dalton's birthday party had me kind of all out of sorts for the last week. So hopefully we will be getting back to regular. I hope soon. All right. First question is from Miss Diane. She says, "Hi, everybody. My Whatnot Live crashed at the start of my live. I tried all the tips and tricks, but no luck. I tried to reach out to Whatnot, but no response. Any tips if it happens again?"
Oh my god, it's just a hard question. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I've sold very little on Whatnot, maybe 3 or 4 shows, and I've not had that trouble, so I'm not really sure what to tell you.
Right, same thing here. I've done a few Whatnot auctions, but I've never had that issue either. So I don't. If you've tried all the tips and tricks, I don't know what else to tell you. Sorry. Kat probably knows.
So it did happen the first. So it hasn't happened to me personally, but when I was on the Commonwealth Pickers live, his actually crashed his house because he has to hook up like aluminum foil on the roof of his house to get internet. So it did crash on us. But I mean, if it does crash, if you log right back on it, it should pick up right where it left off. So that's what happened with us, and we were fine with it. But Kat would probably have a better, since she does about 15 shows a day.
Yeah, it feels like it sometimes. What I would say is I would just schedule a new show and you can clone all the items from that show that crashed. So if you catalog, so you don't lose them all. My first show, I don't know how many people in here were in it. My phone died and I lost my whole show and mine crashed too. So I think it's like a newbie ritual that like you have to have some kind of issue on Whatnot. Sure. So I would just make another show, and then on your seller dashboard, you will see your prior shows and you can clone all items from that stream. That way you don't lose everything. The only thing that'll suck is if people have bought a couple of things, they won't get that combined shipping because it is a different show. But other than that, I wouldn't give it too much merit because my first show was an absolute disaster. And I was so stressed out. Luckily, I had a backdoor number to Whatnot. I'm not going to lie. I had a contact at Whatnot. So I was able to be like, hey, what's going on? But it will happen. It will happen. I wanted to say, where did it go? I had it. Linda said she loves my hair this way. So my hair this way is a result of me going scalloping on Tuesdays last week and this week. And I have to jump in the shower really quick, wash my hair, and there's no time to blow dry it. But I decided I liked it. If you saw, I did a video. I did it like this on purpose. Tonight is another, though. I went scalloping and I didn't have time to do anything else. Miss Anani sent a $5 super chat and said eBay has increased their suggested promoted listing to 10% or more. Do you go by what eBay says, lower or more?
I go by lower. I answered that right?
Yeah. You did.
Okay.
It's just the way you said it was funny.
Oh, just because I don't do their suggested. I just do a flat 5% on all my items, and I change it up. I run it Monday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Friday, and then Friday till Monday. And so it's I have over 1,100 items listed, so I don't go through it. I just constantly rotate it that way, and I just do 5%. I was doing 10% flat for a long time, and I didn't really see much difference when I dropped it down. I feel like you should promote, but I wouldn't do suggested.
Yeah, I don't do suggested. I don't take eBay suggestion for anything, basically. I do promoted listings, and like Dan, I switch it around usually like every 2 or 3 days, and I fluctuate between like 4.7 and 4.9%, just say 5%. But that's how I do it, and I do it lower.
So I do I promote pretty much all my listings, usually around 2 to 3%. I don't do much on it. The reason for that is even when I sell in popular categories such as like video games, they will suggest like 7, 8, 9%, and I will still list items if you list them at a fair market price, even with that small promotion on there, and they'll sell right away, and they always do. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't put too much weight into what their suggestions when it comes to the promotion. I know Kat will have a little bit different. Kat promotes pretty high with hers. But for me, it does work. I like to personally run a lot of promotions when I run promotions, so I can just send on offers. When I send on offers, I like to send out big offers, like 20, 30% below what I currently have the item listed, and that's when I get a lot of my sales. So I mean, it's just a different marketing technique that you got to use. You got to find out what works best for you and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, so I promote it trending plus 3%, but I cap it at 12%. So the max that I do on anything is 12%. And that's because I buy stuff so cheap. I typically buy at 10% or less. I have plenty of room, and I would rather have more sales as a result of higher promotions rather than waiting a little bit longer. If I'm bumped up to the top of that search, I feel like I sell more items. I think you really need to look at your business, look at how much you're buying things for. If you're buying really cheap, I see no harm in promoting at trending or trending plus 1, 2, or 3 to get more sales, and you will get more sales. My only caution would be do not try promoted and then shut it off, because eBay does not like that. So if you're going to promote, slowly taper it down. If you turn it off, eBay is going to slap you on the wrist and you're not going to like it. I have had that experience, and it was not a fun one. My sales stopped. It was absolutely horrible. I do want to put too, and I forgot to tell you guys when we went on, Shagan, I'm going to resell it. Last week, if you were here, Shagan gave away two $250 value, $500 worth of inventory. Wait.
How much? How much did you just say?
$500.
$500?
To 2 lucky winners, and he's doing it again tonight, guys. We're going to give away 2 more boxes with $250 of inventory, and one of my other affiliates has sent us something else to give away. So we're going to be giving that away as well. Normally we do it around the 9 o'clock time, somewhere around there. So Shagan is here, and we're going to give away $1,000 he gave away in 2 weeks, guys. So if you were not following him, he was on our show 3 weeks ago. So you can check that out to see a little bit of him. And he has a YouTube channel you can check out too. But I don't want to forget. All right. And I don't want to forget to give Anani her dolphin either. So, Miss Anani, here is your dolphin.
And Mark actually just put up Shagan's YouTube page, so make sure you guys go check it out. Give him a follow because he came out of pocket to do this for us. We didn't ask him to do this, so that's awesome that he's done this. And let's give him a thanks and give him a follow on YouTube.
Yeah. He came to us and offered and asked if I would like to give it away. And of course, if anybody would like to give things away to my viewers, I'm not going to say no. I just cannot say no. So we have been giving away tape. We have been giving away List Perfectly swag. I have new stuff to give away tonight. So we now, it seems like, are giving stuff away every week, which is awesome because you guys get a chance to win stuff. So Miss Sue has the next question. She says, I just realized after 1 year of reselling on eBay that eBay charges us for our payouts. Is this new or am I just not the sharpest knife in the drawer?
Sue, I didn't know they did that. So I'm just figuring that out now. If it's really happened, they charge. I didn't know that.
Wait, are we talking about final value fees? What are we talking about?
Like
no, I think she's talking about when they pay us.
When they pay you out?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm definitely not the sharpest knife in the drawer either.
So I do my payouts once a week. They don't charge me to do my payouts on that. Was it something that do immediate payouts? Maybe. I know some platforms will do like Venmo and PayPal will charge you an extra fee if you did it like immediate payout, so you get that money in your account right away. But normally, if you just have it regular scheduled for payout, they don't charge you anything for that. I have mine set for every Tuesday, so once a week.
That's what I have.
Yeah, I don't believe that I've seen any charges either. So I'm with Rod. I'm wondering because they have that new immediate payout. Like I know PayPal charges you 2.5% if you want it in 30 minutes. So maybe it's that. I would double check or let us know if it's not, Miss Sue, and you know for sure. No, it's not.
She said no, regular. That's weird.
Interesting.
Wait a minute. How are you doing your payouts? Because I know some platforms, if they have to like physically send you a check or something like that. I'm doing direct deposit, so I know a direct deposit there's nothing on there, but just depends on how you're getting
and tell us where you saw that too. I'm gonna go look right now, because if that is mine just says the funds payout ID.
Yeah, the only thing that she can get to be charged for if she use like FedEx or UPS, they'll bill you after the items actually ship, not when you're actually printing the shipping label. So that's the only other thing I can think of that you'd be billed for from your payouts. But
yeah, and I'm not seeing anything, any fees on mine either. If direct deposit goes into your bank account, I don't see any fees taken out. Sue, I'd be interested to see if you can maybe send me a screenshot on Instagram or something. I'd like to see where you're seeing it come out of, because that is interesting.
Just make sure you blank out any personal information.
I was going to say, send us your routing number and account info.
So secure number, routing number, direct deposit number, and we'll take care of it.
Do not listen to them.
If you had a PIN number, what would it be?
Listen, Mr. Bob wants to know, do you run sales? And if so, how often?
I do run sales. I'm not I just did one last weekend for some very old items, but I used to be more doing sales every week, but I've gotten away from that. And I'll just do them here or there if I just kind of want to get rid of some stuff and maybe try to get some extra sales. I might put it on, but I usually just take advantage of sending offers. And then because I already doing promoted, I really try not to. And I feel like I price stuff pretty fairly. So then I once in a while, I'll just run a sale just because I want to, but not like regularly.
Yes, I'm probably in the same boat with Dan. Since I promote and I send offers, I don't do a ton of sales, maybe once a month. and I'll probably do it on older, or I usually do it on older items that I'm just looking to get rid of from my
The
store.
coupons. We tried the coupons too.
Oh yeah, we did the coupons. Yeah, like every once in a while, like we'll just try different things that eBay, offers or whatever, sends out or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But it's activity on eBay,
So I try to list a lot of my items around market price. Unless I'm dealing with my high-end collectibles, then I'll list them a little bit higher than market price, just because I may have something very unique or the only one on the market. So because I do that, I don't run a lot of sales. When I do run sales, I run it for 2 or 3 days at a time. Usually like during the week, during my slower days of sales. But when I do run those, I normally don't get a lot of sales from my actual running those sales. I get a lot of watchers. And that's where I actually make most of my sales, is actually from sending out offers. So I do send out offers pretty much usually around twice a day. I won't send out any offers when I have a sale going on, just so that I build up my watchers on there. But once my sale ends, I usually run 2 to 3 day sale. And then when it ends, I'll send out a ton of offers. Usually the discount when I send out will actually be better than what the sales was. And I usually run those when I send out those offers at 12, usually around lunchtime, and usually around like 8 o'clock at night. That way people are sitting at home or sitting on the lunch break.
Yeah, so I'm that annoying person at the antique mall that marks everything up to mark it back down. So I price higher to run constant sales. My sales are only off about 4 hours total a week. I price up right at 30 to 40%. I run a 35% off sale, and it runs from Monday to Friday, and then it starts back up Friday morning. Like it stops at midnight Friday, starts back up Friday morning at 6. So I guess it's off 12 hours a week, and then it runs until midnight on Monday. So it's on pretty much 24 hours a day, but I never run it more than that 5-day period. And I would suggest if you run a sale, don't run it more than 5 days, because you give people a sense of urgency, like, oh, the sale's going to be over in 2 days, I need to buy it now. Where if you run it for a month, they're not going to feel that urgency to buy the item fast, and they're going to kind of put it off. So if you do run them, I would suggest not running them for very long. Absolute Finds has a question and says, I've had trouble sourcing in general and on high bid. I can't seem to find any big lots that will last. Any suggestions or tips?
I look on high bid in my area, and I haven't had a ton of luck on there either. I don't honestly source a lot like that. I sell generally just clothing and shoes, and I go to the bins and I thrift. So I mean, I'm not really a good person to. I just look as. I mean, I'm not a really good person to answer that. I just look on high bid more for just to see what else, if I want to try to maybe learn something new, and I'll look for something once in a while. But I guess I wasted everyone's time there. I don't really know.
I don't know. Maybe you have to jump outside your comfort zone. I don't know if you're going to like live auctions or maybe estate sales. You could try to find some good deals there. Or, maybe worst comes to worst, put a little ad on not an ad, but put a little post on Facebook for whatever you're looking for in bulk, or just general, like a post, say I buy whatever, list a few things and see what you get out of that. Maybe that could help you.
So it might come down to what you actually sell as well. Like if you're actually trying to buy video games in bulk, good luck.
Good luck.
Because there's going to be hard to find. But if you're trying to buy clothes in bulk, I mean, there's no shortage of clothes out there. There's tons of places that you can go online and buy clothes in bulk. So it comes down to what you're really selling. I would say for me, I buy a lot of stuff in bulk, and I get a lot of leads from going to flea markets and going to yard sales, to be honest with you, and just tell everyone what you do. The best thing you do is literally go on your Facebook account tonight, post up, hey, this is what I do, and this is what I'm looking for. And you will have people that will contact you, if not now, maybe 2-3 months later down the line. Also, too, is, I can't tell you, the more people you tell, the more you're gonna do. But also, too, contact other resellers in your area. There's groups that you can meet up with, because I may specialize selling in pop culture, But then Dan specializes in selling clothes and shoes. So if I find a big lead for that, I can send it his way. He can send me toys and other stuff my way. So that works out too. I've actually worked with a lot of resellers in my area, and we've actually passed leads back and forth. So just got to work smart, not hard, and just find different ways to think outside the box.
Yeah, so I see you're a member of my channel. I don't know what level you're at, but at the $9.99 level, I will find you stuff on HiBid. So I will go and find it in your zip code. And this past Saturday, I only had one person to look for, and I do up to 10 a Saturday. So there's plenty of room for me to search for you inventory if you want to join that $9.99. I will tell you, I just spent $3,500 on HiBid last Sunday. And I talked about this on Whatnot. I made everybody guess. I'm gonna make the guys guess. So I spent $3,500. I bought 54 lots. Guess how much my shipping is?
$9.99.
2,000.
So I'm assuming you bought a bunch of jewelry.
Right.
So you sell a lot of jewelry. So I'm gonna say $250.
No, I'm way off.
No, 590.
Oh my God.
Oh, I was way off.
So that's the most I've ever spent. I won almost that much last time, and it was only like $390. And you guys hear me saying only $390, only $400 for shipping.
Like $10 not bad.
It's 4 50-pound boxes of mostly jewelry.
Yeah.
So if you're not finding stuff on HiBid in your area, I guarantee you, because I've been sourcing only from HiBid for a long time. That's been my main thing. And I'm getting it shipped to my house. Now, for that $600 in shipping, I probably have, I would say 300 to 500 pieces. So I'm less than $2 in per piece for shipping. So if I got those lots at a good price for $1, $2, $3 a piece, I'm still $5 in on quality jewelry. I'm going to show in my What Sold video Thursday, I sold 2 brooches for over $100 a piece on auction that were from auction lots from the same auction house. Do not ask me what it is, because I will not tell you. That is the one I get most of my jewelry from. But it 110%, if it can't be done locally, you can get it shipped. I buy from Hawaii on HiBid and get it shipped to me. So if there's none local, and my tip for HiBid would be, if you're putting 50 miles in and not finding anything, you need to up it. And if you're putting 100 and you're not, you need to up it again. I have to put in 250 miles to find good quality auctions. And most of them end up being about 105 to 110 miles from my house, but I don't see them if I put 100. They're just over that 100-mile limit. And the best auctions are in, I have to go up to 250-mile search radius. So I would say if you're doing 50 miles, you're not doing a wide enough search also.
So Kat, too, what about before you started doing, really focus on jewelry, there's a lot of times that you bought like Disney lots. You bought
I've got over 100 vintage hats here that I just sourced.
You bought a lot of stuff that you normally, this was your first time buying because you thought it was a good deal, and then you were just doing the research as you go through. So if you're on HiBid, one thing that you need to take into consideration is think outside, get outside your comfort zone, buy items that you think are going to have good value. Sometimes you have to pay for an education, but at the same point in time is like, Kat, there's how many lots have you bought that you made $1,000 of? That was the first time selling those items, just for the fact that you just found something.
Like the Harley pins, the license plates, those were all HiBid. The Harley pins were shipped to me from Texas. Those weren't a local pickup. The 1,000 license plates, I had to drive 3.5 hours to pick up, to give you guys an idea how far I drove. So 7 hours of driving, and probably close to 7 hours loading 1,000 license plates into, it was like playing Tetris in real life in my expedition, because I got a display shelf with them and I bought other stuff. And also the biggest thing for me is I might be searching. I search for jewelry regularly because I sell so much on Whatnot, but I look at everything else they have. That's like what Rod's saying. And if something catches your eye, look it up. So that's why I have 100 vintage hats here, because I was buying jewelry and I'm like, I can't pass up these vintage hats at a great price. And I have vintage hats. So definitely check the other, like if you're searching, you find what you like, and then look at the other lots and research them.
And don't wait till the last minute either, like the day, like an hour before it ends. Give yourself time. Look on there like a day or two beforehand so you can actually do the research and put stuff on your watch list to go back and then bid on it later.
Yeah, and I do that, and HiBid is great. They have where you can put a note, and I'll put what the value is, like how much it's worth, so I don't forget it. So when it gets closer to the end of the auction, I know how much I want to bid. So you can put your notes in on HiBid, which is really, really nice. All right, this is a fun question. Are you ready? What is the funniest reselling or thrifting story you have? Oh my God.
Funniest reselling or thrifting. Oh, I don't know. Mike, you go first on this one. What I think.
All right, I have a good one. Back before the pandemic, I used to buy storage lockers a lot, and then the pandemic happened. They shut it down. When they opened it back up, it was just really expensive. So I've kind of stopped doing that. But I used to buy storage lockers a lot, and one of the things I sell a lot of in my store that sells decent for me are like vintage pencils. Like I'm always talking about vintage pencils and I sell them, and I kind of know what to look for. I'm not an expert or anything. So anyway, I buy this storage locker. I'm going through and all this stuff, and like there's some cool stuff in there. And I come across like one of those old like school like pencil bags, used to like with the zipper on it, used to, like keep your pencils in, right? And I'm trying to clean out this locker. So I'm not actually going through items. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'll put that. Oh, that's trash. I'll put that over there. You know what I mean? Just kind of like sorting and trying to get it the heck out of there so I can get it home, right? So I get home and I have all my stuff, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to go in there and look at those vintage see what those pencils are, because I thought it was like full. You know what I mean? So I get in the house. I unzip this pencil bag. It was adult toys for women in this pencil bag. I was like, it was a whole bag.
So they were electronic pencils.
Yeah, they were electronic women's pencil toys.
Oh,
yes.
I should have went. I don't want that. Oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, okay, but that was a pretty funny story.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Not one pencil in there.
I don't know if I can top that.
Did you try them out to make sure they weren't real pencils? You try to write with
them?
No.
Okay,
just checking. All right.
I didn't try them out already. It looked like they were well worn.
Okay.
Pencils. Yeah.
I don't know if it's more sad than funny, but when I first started reselling, I was so excited to have like my own garage sale. I didn't really understand. I don't before I got into reselling, I honestly didn't really go garage selling. I didn't really know anything about it, so I didn't know what to do. So I wanted to have my own garage sale to get rid of stuff. But I didn't know what to do. So I set up for 3 weeks to get ready for my garage sale. I cleaned all my items. I priced everything for a garage sale like I was reselling. And I had no customers come. And then one guy who came, I begged him to take something. And I told him I was going to sell him it was like a bag. And I told him $5. And he kind of looked at me. And I'm like, give me $1. You can have it. And that's about the saddest story I have reselling. And it's not really funny.
You're paying guys.
I did not want to not participate in this, but
so I have a couple. I can think over time. I had people that have tried to barter with me, and I have people that have offered me drugs and weed for items for that. I bought lots of stuff. I bought collections off people, and they were hiding marijuana and other things inside cases. I have found adult VHS and porno DVDs hidden, and you can tell the stuff is coming from a kid's collection, like a teenager. And I found them hidden inside a lot of stuff, later on, something that the parents never look. But I actually have the video I just dropped this morning. Is someone gets thrown out of a yard sale where he tries to negotiate with someone, and the seller flips out and he throws someone at the yard sale for trying to negotiate with him. So that's kind of funny. So if you guys want to watch that, I just dropped that this morning. But Kat, let's see what you got.
I don't have a ton of funny stories. I didn't know my camera was off that long. That's why I was like, what the heck? I looked up and I saw the circle, and I'm like, oh, I thought it was here. Welcome, Elgin. I'm glad you made it. So we were actually in Birmingham, Alabama. We were thrifting there. And this is more like, it's kind of a YouTube thrifting story. And we were in the store in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm in Florida, and, from Florida, I should say. And I had Dalton with me. And this is kind of funny / embarrassing. Dalton, being a typical kid, was running under the racks. And I'm like screaming Dalton. And a viewer was like, cat, because I was screaming Dalton. So she found me because I'm screaming Dalton in the middle of a thrift store because my child is running under the racks. I can't think of any other fun. If I think of more, I will come back to it. But I thought that was hilarious that this woman found me because I'm screaming at my 3-year-old for running under the racks. Miss Patty wants to know if any animals are missing from the party. No, not to the lack of people trying. My mother-in-law was trying to go with the case and take away the lemurs to her house. So if you guys don't know, we did a petting zoo, and we had lemurs here. We had baby raccoons, baby coatimundis, baby possums for Dalton's party Sunday. And I think the adults enjoyed it more than the children, to be honest. And I think they were trying to take them from the party, but the animals all went back where they belong. The place that we use is actually really cool. It's a rescue, and they do the parties to support the animal rescue. So it's really, really cool. And the lemurs actually live in their house. They have free run of their house. So they're super spoiled. I met them when I went to What the Hales event. And when they had their 500,000 subscriber party, they had them there. And Dalton fell in love with the lemurs. So I had them come to school, and now they came here, and their prices are excellent. It's super cool to get to hang out with lemurs. How many people can say they get to hang out with lemurs, right?
Right.
That's pretty cool.
We just talked about make sure you tell everybody what you do. I was just saying that. Literally, someone just sent me this on Facebook telling me that they have a Star Wars collection for sale. One of my friends said, hey, my friend has this. I know you'll be interested in buying it. So that's why I say it's so important to tell everyone what you do, especially if you have a hard time sourcing in big lots.
Yeah, for sure. And I get a ton of emails from people wanting me to buy out their inventory. Most of them are too far. If I think of somebody that is close to that area, I will reach out to them for the person. I just had somebody reach out to me up in Washington State, but I didn't know anybody. It's really, really hard typically to move all your inventory at one time, especially if you have a lot. But definitely let people know, because you were saying you're having a hard time finding inventory. Something like that would be, great for you to be able to get, everybody their whole store, basically. Laura says, I'm just starting out. What is the best advice you have for getting into this? I thrift and find some good items.
All right. The best advice I can give you is to I would make sure you get a good process going. And I would make sure you understand sell-through rate, looking up an item and how much how many are listed, how many are selling. And I would get comfortable with say eBay, wherever you're starting with, get comfortable with that, that platform before you tried another one. And I would just make sure you're not if you're finding good items, make sure you're listing those good items to start selling items. Then once you start selling items, you're gonna feel great, and you're gonna want to thrift more items. But just don't get buried with stuff. Just make sure you're getting good process of getting it listed and selling. So I think it's
sounds good. The best advice I ever got was you make your money when you buy the item. So it's good that you thrift and find good items, but what are you paying for them? And you have to factor in, shipping supplies and fees from the sites that you're selling on. I mean, not that you're not making money or able to make money, but just keep that in mind. I always try to keep that in mind. And then, I would also just try to learn the ins and outs of one platform. Not you don't have to be a total expert on eBay before you jump to something else, but try to learn as much as you can about eBay or Mercari before you jump to the other one or whatever. But once you do, then make sure you get your items out there, as many eyeballs on it as you can.
So I would say, I mean, both, they made two good points. One is you make your money on the, on the buy, and also your sell-through rate. That's the biggest mistake. A lot of new sellers, don't take a look at the sell-through rate. They see one item that sold for $50 and there's 100 listed right now, so that's the biggest thing. I would say also too is buying too much when you first start out, because you get so excited. And trust me, the most fun that you're going to have in this game is sourcing. So everyone loves the source. Everyone loves to buy. You get that instant gratification. It's some treasure hunting. But what happens with a lot of new sellers is you start coming home and you don't list your items. So I highly recommend that you try to list everything that you, especially if you start out if I could restart right now and get rid of everything, start fresh, I would make sure I would list every single item I got when I went out sourcing, unless I bought a massive lot of things. But that's the biggest thing. I want to really minimize my business and eventually get to that point or get close to that point, because I have too much inventory right now. So I'm taking some different avenues to start moving stuff, because I don't want to pay to hoard items or pay to store items.
Right.
A lot of times people make. And then the next thing is I would say the other biggest thing is make sure you're organized. Start from the very beginning. I don't care if you just have 20 items listed. Make sure you have those listed in totes or boxes or shelf, tote A1, A2, A3, because as you start growing and if you are more successful, it's going to be the biggest deterrent and the thing that's going to slow you down the most, because nothing's worse than searching for 20 minutes to try to find a $7 item. And we've all been there. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Rod just stole my answer, because I was going to say the organization thing. So that's why I'm like, definitely get stuff listed. I would say one of the biggest things is make sure you do a separate bank account. Even if you're just sourcing before you're listing, have those finances separate so you know what is business and what is personal. I really don't know, Aaron, but I'm organized to the point I can find stuff. I think that's the important point here. Other than that, it kind of is all out the window. But yeah, definitely separate accounts, do the organization and list. It's a really easy to buy and say, I'm going to start. Just start. Just start listing so that you aren't just sourcing unlimited. And then you're like, crap, I have 500 items and none of them are listed. That's really easy to do. I just wanted to highlight this. KT is watching over on Facebook. So hello. If you guys are not following me on Facebook, and Rod, both of us are over on Facebook, please follow the Nurse Flipper and Picking and Punching over on Facebook. I don't know if Dan and Mike, do you have Facebook pages?
No, I just have my personal account.
I do have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it that much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, me and Rod want you to follow us.
I'll follow you guys.
I'm trying to catch. So I'm very competitive, and Kat is literally kicking my butt right now. She hit 5,000 last week, and I'm just creeping up in 400. So if you guys can help me out, let me try to catch up to her as soon as possible. I would love that. So.
Yeah, so we're trying to build our Facebooks up. It's crazy how all the different platforms are. It's different
type of monster.
Yeah, it really is. CJ said, hello, everyone. There are similar sites to WorthPoint, then I can cross-check pricing.
Man. All these questions tonight. I have no idea. No clue. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, I usually, you can always check on eBay, on the sold comps on eBay.
Terapeak.
Yeah, Terapeak on eBay has that too as well. Yep. Otherwise, I don't know.
So, I mean, Terapeak can go back 2 years. WorthPoint is worth its weight in gold because it goes back 10 years. But also, too, depending on what you're selling, if you're just selling clothes and other stuff, I mean, those two are just going to be sufficient for you. If you're selling like high-end collectibles, or I would highly recommend looking at some different auction sites, such as I deal like sports cars, I deal with VHS, video game stuff, comic books. So like Golden Auction House, Heritage Auction House are good websites that do specialized auctions based on those. And they do allow you to search comps on those websites. And you're going to get probably a higher premium on those websites. So it just gives you more of an all-around idea of what certain items can go for. So.
Yeah, besides Terapeak and WorthPoint, there aren't any that I know other than just like a regular old Google search. But some of those are really hard. Like, you're not going to see sold prices. Like, you'll see stuff for sale. versus seeing what they sold for. And Worth Point's only $23 a month. That really is not that much for the service you get if you're finding enough stuff to make it worth it. And a lot of times only 2 items a month will more than pay for the research you get with Worth Point.
We got a bunch of us. We got a bunch of celebrities in the chat today. We got Kamala Figure, Bearded Thrift
Don't
Machine.
inflate his ego.
He just hit 100,000. Listen, he got his plaque. He told me he's going to get a big chain around his neck. He's going to wear it like Flavor Flav. And he's going to walk around.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bearded Thrift Machine's on his way, though. They're getting his plaque.
I know Julian is very close. If you guys are not following my previous co-host, Bearded Thrift Machine, he is getting close to 100,000 subscribers as well. So definitely give him a follow. Let's get him over that. I think Tiffany's still working on hers too. My good friend Thrifting Vegas is close as well.
Yeah, I think she's only like 1,000 away. And Julian was 10 times better co-host than I am, so make sure you give him a follow.
Oh,
let him know that.
Not 10.
No.
Not 10.
You're so different.
Eight,
I had beer envy, okay?
Yeah,
like,
but not 10, 8 maybe.
Oh, 8. Okay, 8 times. That's good. So,
Oh.
I got that going for me tonight. All right.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just mess with you.
Okay. Miss Gail said, my question is, when I list something on eBay, they show shipping between amount from X to X. What do you pick? I have put the weight in. Do you want to explain that to her, Dan?
So she's talking about calculated.
Yes.
So yeah, you're picking calculated. So you're, as long as if you take the weight, you want to make sure you're adding some for shipping supplies, and then like your box and your packing, whatever you're packing, and then make sure you put the dimensions in there, and then it'll give an answer to it. Where say I'm in Indiana, so if I'm shipping to California, it'll give them this amount, and then if I'm shipping just to like Illinois, it'll be this amount. So it's between those two. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. It's a range depending on where the buyer's located.
Yeah.
It gives you the lowest cost and the highest cost a buyer could potentially pay based on their shipping location compared to your location.
And you don't have to pick anything. It's telling you what it could charge them, the low end to the high end. So you don't put any amount in, you just leave it, and it'll calculate it for that buyer from that low end to high end, depending on where they're located. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we already did that one. Oh, okay. MC Hahn says, we know the eBay algorithm doesn't like abbreviations and titles. We also know it accepts some abbreviations such as vintage, mid-century, modern, new, and box. Is there a list of accepted ones or ones to avoid?
Okay, I'm going to, if it's like NIB, so I guess that would be someone that's new in box. That's someone who's, if they're a collector and they want to, like, that's what they're looking for, they might know that. But it's just like a regular person, like, just they're not going to know what VTG is. They're not going to care. And I honestly, I don't think, if I could spell out the whole word vintage, maybe someone's going to search that, but I don't know how many people are searching VTG. So I try not to use those things as much as I can. I try to spell out as much as I can. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I try not to get too hung up on this eBay algorithm thing. You know what I mean? Who knows what's up with that? You know, I just try to list it as much as I can consistently, and just stay active doing that. As far as the abbreviations, I don't have an answer. Yeah, MCM is good. New in box is good. I wouldn't abbreviate vintage like VTG either. I'd try to spell it out if I could, or else I'd leave it out for a better keyword for the item.
So a lot of people don't realize that VTG, vintage, is actually a short for vintage. And you can actually, if you type in vintage, it does pop up. Or if you type VTG, it does pop up. So I would use VTG if you're running out of characters on your listings. It will show up when people just type in vintage on that one. The only thing that eBay doesn't allow, and if you use abbreviations, if you use like as or something along those lines in the title. So if you're putting like, what's a good example? If you're trying to compare two items that are similar but not quite that item, like new, and they won't allow you to use like new in your title or something like that. So you have to avoid those because they will flag that. But it is good to actually know certain things, like MOC is mint on card for action figures. So a lot of like high-end action figures will look for stuff like that. So if there's a certain category that you do want to list in, I would recommend going to comp, search from highest to lowest, and their search abbreviations that they're using in that category. Learn and find out what that is, because people are putting those in because those are getting high-end. They're getting the high-end comps in that category, and those are the abbreviations that you want to learn or know about if you're going to be selling that category.
Yeah, so I want to point out too, a lot of times those might not be coming up because of VTG or MCM. They might be coming up because in your item specifics, you have chosen vintage, or you have chosen new in box, or mid-century modern is a style on there. So I do use those, and I feel like people who are collectors know MCM for mid-century modern, and they would search MCM because they know it's widely used, just like Rod was saying in the card community. I don't do new in box. I don't feel like that many people like are gonna know that one or search it. I would rather put new with those 3 characters than I would rather have the NIB. But I think the big thing with this is getting those item specifics in, because then all of that stuff's going to come up when you search. Like you can pick signed, you can pick vintage, you can pick a bunch of stuff that'll come up in the search and not be in the title, which gives you extra characters to find buyers.
Nope.
Miss Jessica, we clicked at the same time again.
No.
We're in sync. That's what happens when you see it and disappears. Miss Jessica said, what was your worst inventory purchase as a newbie? Mine was a bunch of Coca-Cola pint glasses for my booth. I couldn't even give them away.
I have plenty of my bad inventory purchases as a newbie. When I first started,
weekend, right?
No, well, probably, but not like nothing like when I started. Because when I got started, I was watching videos. I'm looking at stuff that they're buying, and I went out and I went to Goodwill. I don't know a lot about video games or anything like that. And one of the worst buys I ever did was I just bought all these PS2 games from Goodwill. I paid like $3 or $4 a piece, and they were just an absolute, like, most of them were scratched. They didn't work. They were worth $2 or $3. Those and Funko Pops when I first started. Like I would just buy whatever Funko Pops, and I've wasted so much money on that stuff. And most of my video, when I started my channel, most of my videos are about that and me selling them for $4 or $5, and I make basically no money. So I could just go on about that kind of stuff. They're just, it was the worst.
I like glassware too, and it doesn't sell well for me. Like to this day, I have to like tell myself not to buy like the glassware that I see.
Look what I got.
Yeah, there you go.
But I bought these for myself because I love Coca-Cola. I got these at the thrift store. I just realized I didn't realize it.
Like I have that glass that's like a boot. It's like an old like Western boot glass, like with a handle on it. Like I thought that was cool. It's never gonna sell.
I love
that was in the beginning. Also in the beginning, I bought a lot of, like when I first started, I bought a lot of clothes. I would go, there was a bins like right by my house. It's gone now, but there was a bins by my house, and I would buy clothes, but not like I would buy like, like Abercrombie and Fitch, or like, like the new, like stuff you could go to the mall and buy, you know what I mean? Like that was ridiculous. So I still have a lot of those clothes and glasses from when I first started out.
So a couple years ago, I bought out a massive lot, and as I was loading it up on my back of the truck, I think I was a truck, I noticed that I wanted to pick a box, a bunch of bugs came out, and it was infested with bugs.
Whoa.
So I literally had to just throw it away and just had to eat it at that point in time. I mean, we've all been there. I mean, it's if you start digging people's basements and attics and sheds and garages and buy storage units, you're gonna run into stuff every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, there's like I found like rat turds and like others. It's just gross stuff, man. It was disgusting. So I just threw it all away.
I've had a lot. I've had a lot of them. I think if you've been doing it a long time, a lot of people do. One is a big bathroom full of Avon bottles. That was absolutely horrible. Another is still half in my loft as I look down there, and that was pallets of air filters that nobody wants. I got them cheap, but they are taking up a whole loft, like 400 square feet, and I've sold like 2 in 2 years. I gave some away, but they were not itching to come back and get the rest of them. So if you've been watching a while, I joked about having a bonfire with them because seriously, all they're doing is burning space. At this point, I need to just cut it and let them go. So those are probably my 2 worst, the Avon bottles and the filters. All right, let me give Jessica a dolphin. I'm going to give you a Dalton dolphin. Here you go. Thank you, ma'am. Mike, I live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know that they would go away. But maybe. I don't know that they would. Yeah, there's metal in filters. I should do something with that. I'm not going to burn them. That's like horrible for the environment, but I need to find somebody to take them. All right. J-Ride Flip says, I've been listing on eBay for 2 years now. Thoughts from all of us on cross-listing?
I'm a big fan of cross-listing. I like to get my eyes on my stuff on as many eyes as possible. So you've been doing it 2 years, so you're comfortable. Once you're comfortable, I would just do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I like to get my items out there as much as possible. Maybe because you're only been doing it 2 years, just start with one, like Macari or Depop, Bop, or whatever that one is, or whatever, and just learn that for a little while. Just start with 2, and then branch off to like Poshmark, make it 3, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't get too crazy. Just put it everywhere. Maybe learn another one for a little bit, 6 months or so, and then add another one to your list. But keep cross listing. Yeah.
Cross listing is absolutely awesome. You just have to stay up on it. That's the only thing I give to you. And then I actually use List Perfectly. I cross list on Macari and on Poshmark. I had a problem with my computer. I got that fixed. Now I started back up again this week doing that. It is great. It's important to expand and grow your business because I had an item sitting in my eBay store for 2 years. And when I cross listed on Macari, it sold within a week. So, you just never know. I also sell in Bonanza. I just put my store in there. I just had an item sell that was been sitting in my store for over 2 years in there. So that's a great one. And then also too, a lot of people underestimate like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace for like local pickups and bigger items. Yeah. People that don't want to ship big items, you can actually make a lot of money and profit by selling it locally and have people just come pick it up from you. So I highly recommend doing those. And also to clear out your death pile and old inventory. Highly recommend using local sites, even Craigslist. I mean, Craigslist isn't dead. You can still find deals on Craigslist, and people still search Craigslist.
Yeah, so I am going to kind of go against what Mike said. I think if you have been doing eBay for 2 years, you have a good handle on it. I would do 2 sites. I would do like Mercari Posh, or if you're selling vintage, like Grailed or Depop, because you're going to spend the same amount of time to pop it onto 2 sites as you are onto 1. And typically the sales on those sites aren't as much as they are on eBay. So I don't think it would be like you were suddenly overwhelmed all of a sudden. So I would add in 2 sites, and Facebook Marketplace is one. I don't know how that's doing because I haven't been able to list on there for over a year. So I can't say if sales are still good over there as far as shipping sales. If anybody in the chat's doing Facebook Marketplace ship, let us know if you're currently doing it. I would say Mercari and Posh would be the 2 I would start with my general kind of sell everything store. And I of course, and I saw Mark and Marsha put it in chat. We meaning me and Rod, we use List Perfectly, and I have a code that will get you 30% off. Listen, Rod made me start Bonanza. He told me I had to do it, so I did it. Rod said, Kat, you have to do this. And I had to listen. So I do Bonanza now too. Oh, and I figured out how to change my name, Rod. I changed my name.
Oh, nice. Let me answer this question real fast because this said we had this question last week from a lot of people. So if you're using Google Chrome, if you're trying to log in, you can't log into Macari. It's because Macari will block you if you have a virus on your computer. So I downloaded a virus protection, and same thing. eBay won't let me to do a checkout through their system on there. And the part of the reason for that is I had a Trojan virus on my laptop, which I didn't realize it. I paid for a virus service and I had it removed. And these sites were putting said that my computer I was using was considered to be
like spyware.
Yeah, spyware, and they would not allow me to log on because I have my personal information and checkout information on there. So they were actually blocking me from actually logging on those sites. So if you are having the problem where you can't, I can log on Macari on my phone and other sites, but through Google Chrome I cannot. So you may have something wrong with your browser or something that's blocking your browser. So you can try using a virus protection to try to see if you have any issues there.
Yeah, and I wanted to pop this up real quick. Lisa said she was having problems with her listings on List Perfectly, and they did a Zoom meeting with her, showed her what she did wrong. Their support is like hands down the best, guys. They are so helpful if you're having issues. They have a Facebook group. She's saying they did a Zoom call with her to help her fix it. Their support and their company, hands down, very, very helpful. We have 2 super chats. Miss Janice sent a $5 super sticker, so I'm going to give her the original one, and then I see another one too. Here you go, Miss Janice. Super chat. What am I feeling like? The beach, or do I feel like a pillow fight? What do I feel like? I think the beach.
Oh,
No, okay, now you guys have to help us decide: beach or pillow fight.
Beach.
Okay.
Beach.
People love the pillow fight. We'll let the guests choose. What do you guys want?
Tell us while we're answering the question. You want beach or pillow fight?
Beach.
The Shabby Vintage Bell. That's what I said. Says, I hate my job. Is everyone on the panel a full-time reseller?
Yes, I am a full-time reseller. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't hate my job.
Yes, I'm a full-time reseller, but you know where this question's going, and we have to tell her to make sure she's very careful before she quits that job she hates.
Yeah,
you
don't quit.
I mean? Like, there's a lot that goes into it, probably more time than we have here to talk about, but maybe just try to find a different job in your field. Maybe
life's too short. Quit your job. Go do what you love full time, but make sure you have a plan in place. That's the only thing I'd say. Have a plan in place. Listen, I quit my job. I hated it. It's the best thing I ever did. But at the same point in time, I work twice as hard now than I ever had.
That's a lot.
But it's not work because I love every minute of what I do. Yeah. But I also have other streams of avenue. I get paid. I get paid on content creating. I get paid on, selling multiple platforms. I have, investments, other things that I do make money on. So, just take that in consideration. But at the same point in time life's too short. Regardless, if you hate your job, find another full-time job or do something. Life's too short, though.
The pandemic put me here.
Yeah.
I walked around for weeks with my resignation in my pocket to quit, and I was too scared. And I was going to do it the day before the pandemic started. And then I was like, oh, let me see what happens over the pandemic. And then I was off. It turned into 2 weeks, turned into 2 months, turned into 4 months. And then by the end of the year, they let me go. And then I just was going to do it for a few months to try it out. And it's been almost 3 years now. It's tough, though, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
It does feel like work sometimes for me. I'm not like with Rod where I'm happy all the time. It does feel like work sometimes. It's definitely not stressful and make me want to pull my hair out like my job was before, but it is work sometimes. Even though I love doing it, it does sometimes feel like work. So I am full-time. I would say it, like, honestly, depending how unhappy I was, like I was kind of unhappy. So I worked towards quitting my job for a year. But if I had been like super unhappy, I would have walked out and figured it out. And I've said this before because I wished I had done it earlier. So, I mean, obviously I don't want you to end up homeless living in a tent or something. But I think if you're really, really motivated to make it work, you will, whether it's going to the flea market, cross posting, selling on local pickup. I think you can figure out and make it work. And I love, like, there is nothing I don't love about reselling, but I don't want to say it doesn't feel like work sometimes, because it is work.
Downsize your life. Like, there's so much stuff that we waste money on that we don't have to spend money on. And if it means getting a smaller house or a smaller apartment or something along the line that you're actually happy with what you're doing and you don't need that much to live, like, that's a better life than slaving away at a corporate job where you hate all day long and coming home miserable and making your family miserable. So
Rob has an extra room.
And I say make enough sales that you can live better. I'm on the opposite end of broad. Like, get a better house. I'm not moving. I have too much crap. I will die in this house. But
if there's a will, there's a way. Like I'm saying is, you will make it work if you're committed. If it's downsizing or just busting your ass, one of the two, you're gonna do it.
Right.
One way or another.
And have more stuff. That's why I said when I went full time, I wanted to be doing what I was doing plus more. I wanted to have more freedom, and with that freedom, be able to do more stuff, which means busting my butt to be able to go scalloping, every week and go out on the boat. And gas is not cheap. Marine gas is not cheap, but yeah, you can make it work one way or the other. Like, if they aren't that good, then you cut some stuff out until you make it where they are, and then you can figure it out. I feel like you can figure it out. So the chat was about 50-50, but we had 2 more super chats come in. Miss Barbara wanted the pillow fight. Miss Susan wanted the pillow fight. So I'm going to give Miss Barbara and Miss Susan the pillow fight. And then I'm going to give the shabby vintage Belle the beach. So we're going to get both of them. So here is the pillow fight first, and then we're going to do the beach. Now I need to go back to Tybee Island. That was at Tybee Island. I love Tybee Island. Tybee Island is great. If you haven't been, Tybee Island is amazing. The pillow fight and the beach are both from Tybee Island. So here is the beach. It does. That is very true. You're sacrificing something for almost everything. Here is the beach at Tybee Island. The last was a pillow fight at Tybee Island. I was just informed it is time to do a giveaway.
Oh.
So let me get it pulled up. We will do Shagan's 2 boxes first, and then we will do my surprise giveaway. And after that, I'm going to give away 2 of my surprise giveaway. Hold on, I got to find it. They don't make it easy. You got to click 5 million things.
We'll use Shagan's YouTube name so that you guys know what to search on your computer.
Yep, same. And I'm going to put it up here for you guys. Let me get back here.
Just so you guys know, if you just put it in once, if you put it in multiple times, it only counts as 1 entry. But everybody in the chat, we have over 400 people here. All 400 of you guys should be entering this because it is free merchandise for you. You can literally, if you get the merchandise, put in a lot and resell it as a whole lot if you want to. Or
so there will be 2 boxes worth $250. Hashtag I'ma resell it. That is Shagan's YouTube name. He is who is giving away these boxes to you. It is $250 in inventory for you. Shagan will ship it to your home, and definitely give him a follow over on YouTube and Instagram. And then I haven't shown you the other one, but there will be a total of 4 giveaways. We're going to draw this one twice, and then we're going to draw the other one twice as well. And I wanted to say, so Tybee Island is where I got married, guys. We got married in Tybee Island on the pier at Tybee Island. Rob, didn't you go to Tybee while you were up there too? Did you?
No, I did not. That's in Georgia.
Oh man,
right?
You were so close.
Yeah, I got married in Savannah. But no, I didn't go to the island.
We got our marriage license in Savannah. We that's where our marriage license is issued from Savannah, but we got actually married.
Well, apparently I'm single tonight because I don't know where my ring's at, but.
Oh, I'm wearing one again. I didn't wear one for like 3 months. It was driving me bonkers. Brad never wears one.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got 110 entries. Guys, it is $250 in free inventory. Free inventory.
You said free? Just free merchandise for doing nothing but putting your name in?
Miss Marsha, you just put hashtag I'ma resell it. Just like you see on the screen, that is Shagan, the gentleman who is giving away the inventory. That is his channel that you see there up on the screen. You just simply type it into the comments and you will be entered. And don't type it more than once because you'll only get one entry because StreamYard's smart like that. And we'll give you guys about 1 more minute. So get those hashtags in. We're going to draw 2 winners. Shagan. Put your put your email, Shagan, in the chat if you can. And I'm going to write it down again. That way they'll know who to email.
What just happened there?
What?
You just like shut down. You're like,
I don't know. Like my mind is like too much sun, maybe. I don't know. Oh, listen, I'm going to put together a short. So it's so funny. Every time I bring the GoPro, because I have like the underwater bubble that makes it look really good underwater. Every time I bring it, I find no friggin' scallops. So I'm like, the GoPro is like, it's a curse to me. When I bring the GoPro, I can't find. Today I found them. So I caught on film my scallops I found at one location. So I'm going to make a short of my day of scalloping. I'm excited to see it because I was all happy. I was like, I found one when I have the camera on. Heaven forbid. All right, guys. Let's do it. We have 153 entries. Let's pick, 155. Let's pick the first winner. Dun, 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 dun.
If you guys haven't entered, keep entering. So
yeah, because I'm going to run it again. Keep entering. Antique Bird Lady.
Woo-hoo. StreamYard is such a tease because it always stops in someone, then goes right to the next one at the very end. Like,
Shagan, where are you at with your email address? He's also on Instagram. Shagan, put your email address. So, Kitschy Kinsey, I'm going to tell you the funny thing is, sorry, Mike, I don't overly like scallops. And I told my husband that really, I just like snorkeling and the hunt of finding them. Like I could care less if I eat the darn things. I'm not going to lie. I just like finding them. And I'm going to do crafts with their shells too. So yes, I'll do a short with the scalloping. I'm like so happy I found it. Shagan, did you put it? All right. Shagan, put it. I'm going to highlight it so they know who to email.
We can start the next one, then we can put it on the screen.
Okay, boss. Here we go. 160 entries. Here we go. Dun da da da.
Good luck.
Dalton's not here to do the dun da 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 tonight.
Oh, he was funny last week.
Kelly, the Artful Journey. You got the second box. I'm gonna go backwards. I gotta find the thing again. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. All right. So you're watching me because I'm still sharing. I got, hold on, let me make myself big. I got Giaro Pack gave me these amazing Daisy poly mailers, a big old pack. I think it's like 50 of them. It's a lot. Oh, it's 100, guys. It's 100. So I'm going to give away 2 packs of 100 of Daisy. How do I make it where we're on the side? I don't know how to do that again. Okay. Hashtag Daisy. You're entering for 100 Daisy poly mailers. I guess you can't see us for a minute.
Who doesn't want free shipping supplies?
Right. Guys, it's free. And don't worry if you put daisies out. The daisies were the most popular because I can see what people order. So that's why I asked for the daisies. I won't lie. But you're getting 100, I think they're 10 by 13 poly mailers, and I'm going to give away 2 packs of them, and I will ship them to you. So for this one, you'll email me. Let me put my email, and then I'll put it up on the screen.
How do we bring it back on the side, Kat?
I don't know. Here, this is who you'll email if you win these. thenurseflipper@yahoo.com for the Daisy poly mailer. We've got 165 entries. You get 100 10 by 13. Marcia, did you share the Giaro link? There's so many #daisies.
I know.
So on Giaro, Marcia will share that link. You guys get a 10% discount on any shipping supplies with code The Nurse Flipper. I even use my own code. I'm not going to lie. Because I want 10% off. Here it is. Marcia put it in. Giaro pack link. Marcia just posted it. It's giaropack.com, and you can use code The Nurse Flipper. You get 10% off anything. I will not open them, so I'll ship those polys in another poly jack. I should open a pack, but I haven't gotten the Daisy ones for me. Let's try and get to 200 entries, guys. We only need 11 more entries. #Daisy for 100 10 by 13 poly mailers. They are from Giaro Pack. You can go. I just bought 1,000 6 by 10 padded polys, and I saved like over $20, I think. And they're definitely low cost. Patty, I had searched as far as if they're a better deal than you pack and ship. I buy 2,000 padded poly mailers a month, and they were cheaper than the company I'd been using. And I have been doing it a lot. And we have 202. Let's pick 2 winners, guys. All right. You're going to email me. Now I got to find my email. I'm just going to type it again. Hold on. It's easier than finding it. So you're going to email me if you win these. If you won Shagan's box, message Shagan on Instagram. All right, there's my email. Let's pick 2 winners. Dun, 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 dun. Who's going to win? Katie and Mel wins the first pack. Congrats, Miss Katie.
Congrats.
And let's pick 1 more. I will give away more next week. Giaro Pack sent me a bunch to give away. Sean! You got him.
Congrats.
Congrats, Miss Sean. All right, guys, let me stop presenting, and you shall see us.
If anyone
you can message me on Instagram, too.
I said, if anyone posted a question in the middle of everything that we were just doing, please repost your question, all right? Because we definitely missed it, because there was over 400 people commenting. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Miss Marcia wants to know from us on the panel as well as in the chat, does anyone know for sure what will happen if we do not update our eBay listings from first class to ground advantage? She does not have shipping policies, and she does not want to go through 1,300 listings.
I do not know what will happen.
I do not know. I heard that it will show as no shipping option, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's a great question, because I don't know. Maybe your store's going to burn and crash and burn. Who knows at this point? I think they're all.
But somebody said you could bulk edit them all to ground advantage. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah,
I do not, Miss Gail. I do not. I'm sure
they're going to red flag them like they normally do, say that you have these listings need to be changed or something like that. I'm hoping, but
yeah, I heard you could bulk edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do like 200 at a time. All right. Let's see. I got lost. Where am I at? Okay, there I am. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Miss Linda wants to know if there are any certain items that you're selling more of lately. I really need to make some sales. I have plenty of inventory, so I know I have something that will sell.
I don't know what I've been selling the most of. Because I don't. Let me start over. Because I just sell clothes and shoes. Like, I don't know if you, I mean, I've had.
So are there any brands you're noticing that are selling more?
Yeah, there's a brand like it's South Pole. You ever heard of South Pole? It's been
Yeah.
selling super fast for
South
me.
Pole was big when I was in high school.
Yeah, me too. So it's I've been finding it and it's been selling within a day or so. Like and I've
Nice.
been finding it regularly. So I've been
It's a vintage item for people that don't know.
Is it vintage? It's not new.
Well, some of it is.
Some of it is. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't sell that many clothes.
And then I mean some of it is, and then there's just some regular. It just looks like nothing, nothing fancy. And then there's some that are just, they have a lot loud pockets and stuff like that are selling pretty good. And I mean I probably sold 7 or 8 pieces this week in the last 7 days on it.
The Horkas sell pretty well for you too, right?
The Hokas. Oh, when I find them, I don't have a whole lot of the Hokas. I try to think what else. I mean, that's one that I've been looking for. I mean, been finding and selling super fast right now. But
I don't know. I saw a little bit of everything. I just bought a bunch of Mary Kay stuff at the flea market this past Sunday morning, and I've sold a lot so far this week. So I don't know. Makeup.
Yeah, I sell pretty much everything in my store. Video games always sell really fast, but I would say if you have a huge death pile, I would say things that you have the most of, search sold comps of the specific category to see what items are selling super hot, and then go through and list. Football season's right around the corner, Halloween's right around the corner, so keep that in mind. School is right around the corner too, so school supplies are selling really hot right now.
Yeah, I've been selling high dollar jewelry that I've been getting in lots. It's basically popular brand names that I know. And then my husband's been listing his Pokemon cards, and those are selling like absolute nuts. So if you have those, I would put those up as well. Everything else has been kind of like a mishmash of everything, but definitely a lot of higher end jewelry and Pokemon cards. Okay, me and Rod were just talking about this. Hala wants to know, do you use the platform Bonanza?
Dad.
I used to have a Bonanza booth. I used to. Bonanza and I had a falling out, and
What happened?
So I was listing some. I used HiBid for an auction. I found some like old.
Don't blame HiBid.
Right.
Well, I found some dollhouse accessories and clothes and stuff like that from HiBid, and I went to go list them, and I had a big lot of something, and I listed them as an auction on eBay, and Bonanza pulled my eBay listing into Bonanza, and someone bought them on Bonanza for the price of the auction for like $1. Like I started them at like $1, so I canceled the sale. The lady got really mad, and I was so mad at Bonanza that I just I put my.
I wonder if there's a way to exclude. That's a very good point, because I've been we ran my husband's Pokemon card lot on auction, and my high dollar jewelry I also have been. So I wonder, Cha-Ching, if I wonder if that's still the case, if that could happen to us.
Usually
I don't know if I did something. So I don't know what happened, but I put my booth in away mode. And to be honest, I swear, like probably the last month or more, I was like, maybe I should look at. I mean, it's been like 2 years. I was so upset with them, but I was thinking about just turning it back on. But that's my story with Bonanza.
Yeah, I sell them Bonanza maybe one every 3 months. I mean, it's fire. It's fire over there. Fire.
So I'll give credit where credit's due. Kamala Picker talks about it all the time. That's why a lot of people jumped on it. That's why a lot of people jumped on it. Bonanza's been around since 2008, though. A lot of people don't know that. I've actually used it a long time ago for a website I had. I actually had stuff on there. I don't have that website anymore, but I actually just imported my eBay store recently, probably the last week. I got my first sale, and it was $400. So I was very, very happy with that. But like everyone else said, it's going to be slow and steady. It's worth doing. It's free to do, but I would highly recommend make sure you do the ad rate on there, which is like 9% if you are going to do it, because they only charge like a 3% fee or 2% fee. So if you do sell it on there, it's actually going to be cheaper than it will be in eBay, and it helps to promote it on Google. So
I choose that split. I can speak. That split the difference thing. So it said like your fees are this cheap on Bonanza. So do you want to split the difference of what you will save in fees and mark your price down on Bonanza? I chose that option. I did it for the fact of Rod told me to. And it's only one button, guys. You click one button and it imports all of eBay, and then you just wait for sales. So why would you not do it, really? Cha is saying she used Bonanza and you can exclude. So just make sure if you're doing the auction. And listen, I will tell you, my mom does that. And luckily I catch them. I'm like, Mom, don't, if it has the hammer, I'm like, the hammer. If it has a hammer, don't cross post it. And she will cross post my auctions at the starting bid to like Poshmark and Mercari, like, no. And then they'll sell. Well, I've had people make offer. Bonanza is that yeah, it is. It is.
Yep.
So my mom does that too. All right. Shagan wants to know who's going to FlipCon, and if so, what are you looking forward to most?
I am not going to FlipCon.
I am not going to FlipCon either.
I will be at FlipCon, and I am looking forward to sitting in the lobby drinking beers at late night with all the other resellers. So,
I am not going to FlipCon either. It is the first week of Dalton's kindergarten, so I will not be there. I will be at Boss Reseller Remix, and if you would like to get a virtual ticket to Boss Reseller Remix, you can get a discount using code The Nurse, because I am the nurse. Teresa Cox made me do that. It's the only place I don't have the nurse flipper. For a discount for Vegas for Boss virtual tickets, The Nurse. Just The Nurse. We'll get you a discount on that ticket. Just The Nurse. Okay. Miss Diane wants to know if you promote to your likes on Mercari, if you sell on Mercari.
So I sell on Mercari, and when I get some, it doesn't even have to be a liker. When I promote it to the likers, like I send an offer, like promote it that way. But I really don't. That's about all I do on there. I don't really do anything else.
Yep, I promote to the likers on Mercari. Yep.
Yes, I do promote to the likers on there. Just keep in mind that when you do promote it, it does. And if you go to re-promote to other likers, it has to be like lower than the previous time that you sent out those offers. So that's why I always kind of wait till I get a bunch of likes first and then send it out. But yeah, Mercari, if it doesn't, from my experience, if it doesn't sell within the first week, it's kind of lost on Mercari's.
Facebook's like that too, or it was when I was listing on it before. It either sold really fast or it never did. I do not, because unless it's changed, you used to be able to filter and sort by like which items had the most likes. So I would send it out to those that had like 5 to 10 likes on them. So I knew I was sending it to more than one person. But the last time I tried, Mercari wouldn't let me sort it by the number of likes. And so I stopped doing it after that, because I have 5,000 listings. I'm not going to page through 5,000 Mercari listings to try and find the likes on there. So I have not been lately. All right. Miss Bridget wants to know, this was a heated topic last week in the chat and on the panel. Do you use eBay AI to help with description?
I have on a few items. Like if it's something new, I just wanted to try it out. But honestly, no. I just wanted to try it out.
No, and listen, as resellers, we should band together and not use any of this goofy shit that eBay. No pay-per-click advertising, no AI descriptions. You have to pay right away when you buy something on eBay. Fix that, or when you send an offer and the person accepts it, they have to pay right away. Or you do an auction and the auction ends after 5 days, they have to pay right away. Do that first, and then we'll use all your other goofy shit, eBay.
Well, I'm gonna go the complete opposite route.
Sorry, that's my eBay AI description. No one even reads the title or the description now. Why are they gonna read it?
I wish you would just tell me how you really feel. I just want you.
I'm starting to move.
Tell me how you really feel right now. All right.
Hashtag pay now.
So,
Hashtag pay now, eBay.
So when it comes to, I have used in the past, but at the same point in time is, I don't really use that much. I think spending, if you're going to use AI, use it on your photos because you can really put some great photos. Use Photo Room. You can use. They have a new AI background swap out, and it's awesome because it automatically puts you. If you have a pair of cleats, it puts your pair of cleats in a football field. If you have basketball shoes, it puts on a basketball court. It's awesome and it works great. So, Kat's in love with it.
I'm gonna go to. I love the AI description.
I think I'm on here. I'm on the show.
I don't care what any of you say. I like them. I agree with hashtag pay now. I am totally on the pay now. But I've been listing high dollar jewelry, and I feel like that frou-frou fluffy stuff fits it well. Now, if I was selling a Nike shirt, maybe not. I'm not gonna lie. I use it for every description, even if no matter what it is. But I do proofread it. And I do delete quite a bit from each one. I like it.
3 times ago, I was on the show, and you told me you never put anything in the description. Now you got the AI computer chat.
Well, because I just have to hit one button now.
Victorian era bracelet that might catch the light from a seashell day. You're putting all that in there now?
Kat has done a complete 180. She's a reformed woman. She's also she also takes her items, ends her items and sells similar, which she never did before.
I don't even know who you are.
When did that happen? That's what I said.
Who are you?
Disagree with me on that.
You can change. You can change.
Lots of change. Pay now, eBay. Pay now.
Listen, eBay's doing more pay now because I got a message the other day. I accepted somebody's offer and they're like, excuse me, I didn't pay for this and the money came out of my account because they sent me an offer and they must be in the test group and it took the money for their item. So they're doing it more.
The test group is big sellers like you or people with big YouTube channels.
No, it's by the buyer.
I've had some.
It's not by the seller. It's by the buyer.
I've had some people that have paid.
Yeah, see, Dan's had some people. Listen, me and Dan are aligned. Listen
all right,
here.
I'll be over here on Pay Now Island by myself.
Listen, Pay Now has nothing to do with AI.
Fix that, and then I'll use the other stuff.
Hey, listen, I'm on your side on that one because I literally just had a $320 auction end, and it's day 3, still no payment.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, they definitely need to pay now. They definitely need to pay now. All right, we're going to have this every week, and it's going to be just as heated every week. And I'm going to be on the wrong side of the coin, but I'm not going to lie to you. Go look at my listings. You'll see my frou-frou stuff. It's there. And I don't do descriptions unless I hit AI one button. That is my description.
Do you do pay-per-click promotions? I'm asking.
No, absolutely. 110% not. And I'm glad you said that because there's a question on that. Where did it go? I want to put this up because I think this is important. Janice says, have you talked about dynamic promotions, which it just came up, and how to analyze the data on whether it is worth it? I am using it. So, well, we're going to have some soapboxes here, and I feel like the panel is probably all going to be on the same side on this one. So, Dan, you better have the right answer, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Dynamic promotions and how to analyze data, whether it's worth. What is dynamic?
Oh, wait. Does she mean dynamic or pay-per-click? She means the fluctuating
thing,
doesn't it?
Fluctuating.
So,
okay, let's talk about both. Let's talk about both.
Let's explain to him what this is, though. So what it is if you eBay has a recommended promotion, say it's 7% today. Well, tomorrow might be 7.5%. The day before, next day maybe 6%. So it fluctuates based on what the market value is. But you can cap it at like 10% or 15%, whatever you want to do.
I'm not doing. I can't do that.
Does anyone think that this is worth it? You think it's ever going to go down?
Tell her what you're talking about, dynamic or pay-per-click.
I'm talking about dynamic.
I'm talking about both, really. I'm talking about dynamic first. I mean, has it ever gone down, Rod?
Yeah,
like today it's 7%, tomorrow it's 7%. What?
So it fluctuates kind of how the stock market goes up and down, but the dynamic promotion will go up and down based on what's going on.
I've never heard it go down, but that's all right. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing pay-per-click. I'm out. I'm on Pay Now Island by myself. Pay-per-click. Oh my God.
You need a shirt that says that.
Hashtag
Pay Now Island.
So for me, I don't. With the dynamic promotion, I always feel like it's super high.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is like if I follow what eBay suggests and that everyone does, and then the cat does 3% higher. So now she's going to bump that market up, and if people keep bumping that market up, that dynamic's going to keep going up. So you're going to be paying more every single day.
My fault.
Now
it's never gone down.
I blame everything on you anyway. But there's a cap. There is a cap on there that you can cap it at 10%, whatever you want to do. But the same point in time is like I rather run promotions. I rather do other stuff where I control it. I'm not a big fan of that or the pay to click. So pay to click is something that you would do if you had like a website and you're getting people to go and click on your website to get there. But I don't want to pay people. I don't want to pay eBay to have someone click and have looky-loos take a look at my items. I'm not paying for looky-loos. That doesn't pay my bills. So I don't like to pay to click. And you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't cap that, because if you have a super hot item and if you have it priced low or below market value, you're going to get a ton of looks. And unfortunately, you may not get buyers, so that you're going to be paying in a big chunk of that unless you cap that off.
Yeah, you can set like a daily budget or a weekly budget or whatever the heck it is. But I heard like some big seller that like, or some YouTube guy or whatever, I don't know, this might not be true, started with that pay-per-click and then all his haters just went on there and clicked on his list and ran up his budget. And I don't know if he had a cap or not, but just ran up his budget with no intention of buying the item at all.
And if I'm not mistaken, Rally Roots, I think, did it for like a really cool like vintage shirt as just an experiment on there. And I think they had like 3,000 or 4,000 clicks, and like it wasn't worth it for them when they did that. I think they have if I'm not mistaken, I think they have a video. I think it was a while back when they did it, but something to keep in mind.
Okay, I'm gonna be hated like all night.
I gotta turn the camera. I'm gonna turn the camera off.
I use dynamic, but I've seen them go down. But I've also heard a lot of people say that they like click it and 2 seconds later it goes down. So I don't know. Listen, but I agree with pay now, but I cap it though. I cap my percent. Listen, buddy, Mike's not coming on ever again.
I know. It was nice. It was nice being on as many times as I was. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I mean, I really
Mike
did.
started out extremely happy and nice night. Now he's just pissed off. Now
it's because the beard's gone. It's because the beard's gone. It made him a hateful person.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to hopefully less controversial topic. Sherry wants to know, is it better to purchase a game system in order to test video games, a Nintendo, so I can advise they have been tested, or just list them as untested?
Like regular Nintendo? Or like...
I don't disagree with that!
Sherry, I struggle with this. I struggle with it all the time. I would end up having stuff sit around because I wanted to test it before I did it. And for like cartridge games, I ended up buying myself a Retron, which it's a game system that it has like Sega, Genesis, Super Nintendo attached to it, so I could test games. And then like when I was yard selling and stuff, I found like Xbox and stuff, but I would hold on to that stuff and I would test things. And then I ended up selling the systems, and then I don't sell a lot of games anymore, but most of the time I just list them. If they look like they're good, I don't test them now, but I don't really sell games anymore. So basically I'm wasting everyone's time again. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the system for cheap, sure, why not? But I would just list it as untested. You know what I mean?
I have sold thousands of video games, and I sell them pretty much always untested.
Right.
And so cartridge games like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega, Atari, they're built like tanks.
Right.
The best thing to do is actually just get a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol, and you can clean the prongs on them, and that's going to help get all the dust of it. So chances are good chance they're going to work. And for disc-based games, I would just check the disc. If it's super scratched and if you don't have a system to test it, just don't list it. If it's looks clean, I mean, 9 out of 10 times is going to work. Another trick is if you have Blu-rays, if you hold a Blu-ray up to a light, if you can see through that, like PS4 games, PS5, PS3, anything that uses Blu-ray, Xbox One, If you can see through the disk, that means there's a pinhole in there. That probably means that the data is compromised and it's bad. So there's little tricks for you to look if you don't have a system to test it.
Yeah, and I don't do a ton of video games, but like it's hard because you might find Nintendo, you might find Xbox 360, you might find PlayStation. So like, where are you going to stop buying systems? Right. So for me, I sell them. I do not put untested, but I am more than prepared to give a refund if they say it doesn't work. So right. I don't say it is tested, but I don't say it's untested. And if it's a disc game, you can look and see if there are scratches, see what it looks like. And I have not had any issues with that. But again, I do not do a ton of stuff. Kelly, I can't fire him because I don't pay him. He's here for
Does the AI tell you if it's tested or untested or no?
If I click it in the specifics.
Okay.
You would know if you use the mic, all right?
I'm gonna start putting hashtag pay now in all of my listings. I'm gonna add that to my template that I don't have. Hashtag pay now.
Yeah, just post this up so everyone knows UPS has actually reached a settlement agreement. They will not strike. So people that were freaking out in the chat here that you not going to be able to use UPS next week, they came to an agreement. They're getting air conditioning in their trucks. That was part of their agreement that they wanted. So
why not?
Yeah, man, it's hot. Like here, them and FedEx.
I can't believe they didn't have air conditioning in their trucks. Like the simplest thing.
Love to Thrift says the post office told me I can't use priority mailboxes for USP Ground Advantage. That's because it is just like first class and you cannot use priority. Well, first class is now gone, but you never could use priority boxes for that. So what do you suggest we use instead? To be clear, guys, priority mailboxes are free only if you use that service. That is the reason they give us that. It is for like a benefit for using priority. So what kind of boxes should they be using for Ground Advantage?
Just regular brown. Like if you find boxes, if you just ask your friends or family for boxes, or I keep a stock of certain boxes that I use a lot of, and I just buy them from different But just
let everybody know that you're a reseller and you need boxes, and you'll have plenty of regular boxes to sell or to ship items in.
Just get a wife that likes to order from Amazon 10 times a day, and you'll have plenty of boxes to ship.
I'm not available, but I'm just saying that's me.
I know people that actually go dumpster dive, and they literally go behind stores, and they have a whole container which is just for cardboard boxes, and they literally take boxes out. Cincinnati Picker does that. He does it all the time in his videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But if you have an eBay store, every quarter you get free credits to go in the eBay store and buy supplies, and you can actually order boxes from there, which I do every quarter. It's free to do that, and I recommend using your, since the fourth quarter starting soon, get ready and try. Now it's time to load up in your boxes. If you go to UPS, United States Postal Service website as well, you can go and order boxes to be sent to your house. There will be priority mail, but still load up now because get prepared for the fourth quarter.
Do you see my pile of Amazon boxes and like my eBay boxes that my eBay shipping supplies come in? I keep them all. Hold on before I scare you guys. Let me zoom all the way back out again.
Sam's Club, one. You get free boxes, Sam's Club. Costco.
So I am like a chronic Amazon shopper. Like I do not want to go to the store. I do not like going to the store. Mm-hmm. So I get a lot off of Amazon, like our laundry soap and paper towels and all that. I get it on Amazon Subscribe and Save. So I have a ton of Amazon boxes. But definitely let everybody know. And if you have to, we still buy them, actually. If you guys see over there, those are all boxes we buy, except for the white ones, which are the free USPS priority boxes. But the brown boxes are ones we buy. And if you're selling enough, it is a part of doing business. It's a cost of doing business. A lot of those we get with our free eBay coupon every quarter. And then it's mainly ones that are under £1. So if it's over £1, I would use priority and get a free box if it's like $1 difference, because you're going to pay $1 if you have to buy a box. And your customer is going to be happier because they're going to get it faster. So you can oh, yes, I am, Jessica. Jessica's asking here. I have it here. I'm going to give away the last case of Joel's My Go-To tape next week. Next week, I'll give it away. Yeah, we're absolutely loving it. We went through about half a case and have no complaints about it at all. And you get a discount on that too, the Nurse Flipper on tape. I love when you get discounts.
Another thing to do is if you live in a neighborhood on recycling day, when people put out the recycling, just take a cruise around your neighborhood. You'll find a ton of boxes, specifically Amazon boxes.
Yeah, there's a ton like out back of our grocery stores if I needed them. Woohoo! Cat's commission. Hey, I like that hashtag, Mike. Hashtag, I mean, I like hashtag pay now too, but I like hashtag cat commission. All right, Mary, here's the original for Mary Garcia. Here you go. Super chat. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Teresa wants to know, on Whatnot, does it matter how many followers you have when most people never have that many people watching and buying?
I've done like 5 shows on Whatnot. I've had some. I have some items in. Yeah, I think it matters, but if you're okay with selling, I don't know. I don't even understand what I'm. I don't understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying I have real expectations. I don't have many followers, so my stuff goes pretty cheap if I'm selling it, because I don't know, if I have 6 or 7 people watching, the chances I have 2 people that want something, they're going to bid each other up on it is slim to none. And I'm not consistent either. So once again, I'm probably wasting your time talking about Whatnot.
Favorite answer of the night.
I'm wasting your time. That's going to be Dan's shirt, and Mike's is going to be.
I feel bad. I'm so excited to be here, but I don't want to waste your time either. I'm a realist.
I think it does. I think it does matter. I mean, you know, how many followers you have. You can get your followers can get like alerts when you're going live, and then you can search from sellers that you follow when their next show is, and look at their items. Like I wouldn't like worry if you don't have, you know, 10,000 followers like Kat has or whatever. But yeah, I think it does. I think it does matter, even though most shows that you watch don't have that many people watching and buying. I think the more followers you can have, the better. So
everyone starts at 0. You know, I'm just starting to build up my Whatnot right now. I got a Whatnot scheduled for next Monday. If you guys like vintage toys and plushes, there's a plug. Everything's starting at $2, $3. But I mean, if you start stuff super cheap, and you only need 2 people to bid it up, you know, and a lot of times I've only had 10 or 15 people in there. But the biggest thing is make it entertaining. Like Whatnot is not a reselling platform. It's a social media platform. It's for you to interact and have fun. So the things that you like seeing on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube is what you're going to want to see on there. I don't want to sit there and someone takes 15 minutes between items. It's, you know, I want someone to run items fast. I want someone's going to be entertaining, who's going to interact with me in the chat. If you do those things, you're going to have repeat buyers. Also, too, like if you putting up items, schedule your next show already so you can tell people to go, hey, because like we're buying today, go check out my next show scheduled for next week. So that's the way you're going to start building a following. Also, too, you can pay to promote your show, especially in the very beginning. So you can pay up. A lot of people don't know that you can do that. You can pay Whatnot, and they will push it out too to some of the audience.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can actually pay for promotion on Whatnot to push your show out, and they'll push it out for you. And so it's a way to get out there. But also, too, is like you just got to, and getting other people's shows, you know, interact with other people. You'll get followers just from jumping in people's chats and stuff like that, and become a regular in there. And like Kat does one 5 days a week, 10 times a day. So get in one of hers, and you'll be able to interact with people, and people will start following you from that.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you, I have 10,000 followers on there, but I don't get high viewers like I did in the beginning. Like my shows have been like 30, 40, 50 people, which is a lot more than most. But in the beginning, I had like 100 plus in my shows. So it definitely is tapered off. And I think a lot of that is because I do so many shows, people are like, okay, we've had enough of her. So I don't think the followers necessarily will tell you what you're going to make, because I can do better in a show with 30 people than I did when I had 100 in there. Like Rod said, you need 2 people to want that one item. It's just like any auction on eBay. You need 2 bidders that want the same thing. And you could have 2 people in the chat and they both want your items and you have an amazing sale. So I don't think the amount of followers always helps. I think having the items, like Rod said, scheduling your shows out. I try to have at least 4 to 5 scheduled at all times. So I'm always, when I do my giveaways, saying, hey, go bookmark the rest of my shows. I do think it's worth the time, especially if you're just starting, to go into other sellers' shows that are selling the same things you do and ask them if you can share your show. So like I do jewelry mostly. If you're doing jewelry, I let you advertise during my giveaways. And some people have built up 1,000 followers just by doing that in chat before they even have their first show. So it again is like a lot of things, is how much time and effort do you want to put into your business, where it's not an immediate return. You're not going to see immediate results from that. It is just going to be a time. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, I sell some pieces myself worth $100, $200, and I start them at $5. They're, I don't know if Miss Barbara's still in here. Miss Barbara bought a Tiffany bracelet from me. I think it went for $200 and she sold it for almost $500. So she made over a $200 profit on that piece. So definitely. And I know I saw somebody, Marsha is over on Facebook, said there are some shifty sellers on Whatnot. I agree. Definitely. If it's somebody you're not familiar with, you don't trust, read their feedbacks. Go and see what people are saying. The sad thing is most people, are more likely to leave feedback if they're upset, but go check the feedbacks and at least get an idea. And Whatnot seller support is great from what I have seen. It might take a few days, but if you get something that's not what you thought it was, message them, start a ticket.
I'm sorry, but I'm like a 12-year-old boy. This is hilarious to me. Because your Toy Story Woody's in the background.
I see Woody.
Childish.
Oh, here. It was, so she bought it for me for only $100. She flipped it for $450.
Wow.
Like I do pull some higher dollar items now. What is higher BRM? What is Kevin saying? What does this mean?
No.
Oh, Blue Ridge Mama. He said higher.
Oh, yeah, Blue Ridge Mama.
Kevin, that's spelled HIRE, my dear teacher. Hire Blue Ridge Mama to rip on you during Whatnot, and you'll get better. Sorry.
You should see her ripping on him in his videos as well. It's hilarious. She's the best.
She is great. All right. American Honey says, how do I reduce the time it takes to pack orders? I'm spending 3 hours for every hour selling live. I'm not willing to stop handwriting thank you notes. I need ideas.
Wait, is this for Whatnot then?
It doesn't matter. Like she's doing live selling, whether it be on YouTube or Whatnot. But so if she's spending an hour selling stuff, it's taking her 3 hours to pack.
The few shows I've live sold on Whatnot, it's taken me forever to figure out I've had trouble with the shipping, and that was one of the best. That was one of the worst things when I got started reselling, was the shipping part. But if you're not pre-write your thank you cards, like you could just fill out a couple during the day, and then you could just put some generic notes in there, I guess, if you really want to do thank you cards. Or some that already have the message in there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, because I have that issue too on Monday mornings. It takes me a long time to pack up those orders from the YouTube auction. I don't know. I don't know how you can do it. I don't know. I just pack faster. I don't know. That's all I try to do.
So I would say, I mean, sell similar items, because if you are selling similar items, you get the rhythm of packing up, the same items. I mean, if you're selling glassware and stuff like that, I mean, unfortunately, you're going to spend extra time packing up glassware. When I did my live on Whatnot, I did a plush auction, so it was super easy. I just threw it all in a bag. I was able to do it. So depending what items you're selling, make sure you're using a thermal printer. So print your labels instead of cutting them out or printing them or handwriting them. But I mean, that's almost a good problem to have. That means you're selling a lot of items that's taking you long to pack up. But you just got to either set up if you know what you're selling, you can always tape your boxes and always have a stack of boxes off to the side. Have your bubble wrap, like have a station set up where you just quick roll and pop it in there. What I normally do is I package up all my boxes, and then I literally bubble wrap my items, put them in the box, quick weigh them, and then just write on the box. And that way, when I go to print up my label, I just pop them right on and go. But you just have to find what works best for you.
Yeah. So Thrift and Threads, I am glad we are entertaining you tonight. I just wanted to say that. I quit writing the thank you notes. So you need to decide if you want to spend 3 hours or do you want to write thank you notes. And I'm just being blunt. If you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you. And I think if you don't want to spend that long, you need to stop doing something. Something you're doing is taking too long, and handwriting individual notes, as nice as it is, if you want to do personalized, I would say do higher dollar but less items, so that it's not that big of a deal if it takes 3 hours and it's monetarily worth it. But for me, like, we put in stickers. I printed out really cute little thank you stickers, and I think Brooke quit putting them on the box. I can't control my 21-year-old any more than I can control my mother. Sad fact in my business. Also, Rod had a great point. When you do live sales and you're selling a big quantity of items, then make it easy to ship items. That's why I do jewelry. I've done handkerchiefs. I've done linens. So I see all of you guys handwriting them, and I want to ask you, would you handwrite them if you sold 500 items a week?
So you can
tell me if you have the time to write 500 of them.
No, you can print off, pre-write something and print off, and you can hand sign them. I can see that. You still add that touch. So you're giving in a little bit, but you're still putting that final touch where you're signing it. But yeah, you gotta do something.
So I have great positive feedback too, and I don't handwrite those notes. Yeah. So so you're saying no, that's the thing. Is it, Bubba's girlfriend is for hire to pack your orders. Just message Commonwealth Picker on Instagram. Yeah, guys, print it and sign it. Rod had a great idea if you want to do that. But I have 100% feedback, over 5,000 on eBay. I have 5 stars on Whatnot, and I don't do handwritten notes. And it comes down, and I agree it's more personalized, but when you get to where you're selling more, you don't have the time to do that. How many items could you list when you're handwriting 50 thank you cards? I mean, there's a reason why Walmart doesn't send handwritten, or Amazon doesn't send you a handwritten note, because they're selling such quantity of items. At some point in time, you have to have a rate of return for the time and effort you're putting it in. Do you want to make more money, or do you want to spend more time giving customer service? And I feel like you answered your own question. You knew the answer to the question by telling us you didn't want to stop doing that. So you got to decide if either sell less items or write less notes, or it won't take less time, or easier items. KT wants to know, do any of you have a video showing how to add a video to your eBay listing? Do any of us?
Dan does, don't you, Dan?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you did. I know Dan has added video to his eBay listing.
You can just do it in the app now, though, can't you?
Yeah, you can now. Yep.
I think they have it just in there where you can add it to your.
Instead of one of the pictures, you just select one of your videos and it'll go in there.
Yeah. But do you have to do it on the computer, or can you do it on the app? I've used it a few times.
You had to go through a third-party website, and you had to put the code in.
Now they can just do it right on there.
Yep. Now, when you do put it on, it does take a little time because eBay has to approve the video. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I think you can only do it on the computer too, right? You can't do it on your phone.
I think it's only on the computer.
Yep.
Well, Beachwalker says you have to do it on the computer, not a phone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can only do it on the computer.
I think you have to let the AI do it.
No, I recorded on my phone, and then I think I airdropped it to my iPad, and then I uploaded it on my iPad.
Listen, I want to say I am not trying to poke fun or be mean. I'm just being completely blunt and honest and business-wise saying what I would do. Like, I know I sound like an ass, and I'm going to say it because I know it. But I mean, it's just, it is what it is.
To grow your business, you have to make tough decisions. And sometimes the things that you enjoy doing or have that personal to grow, you have to, there's a give and take. You have to give up some stuff. You have to move on. You have to pivot, as you grow. That's our favorite.
We need to get that shirt. That's like, we say that all the time. You have to pivot.
That's how you be successful.
There's Kevin has his already prepackaged.
Yeah. See, there's a good example right there.
And then other than that, to be honest, if it's just a random person, if they send me something, I probably wouldn't even look at it. I just throw it away. So you're probably wasting your time.
Did Kevin pay you guys tonight to get all this free advertisement? Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Because I didn't want it, because I know Kevin did it, and I see him in the chat. I don't be like a jerk. Like, I literally kept this because it's Kevin. But if it was someone else,
there we go. If you guys need to get your eBay store moving, get his anime. There you go.
It's Kevin's pay per mention program. I don't know. It's kind of like a pay per click program.
Hey, don't forget, if you guys once a quarter, you guys can get a anime wrestling figure too.
All right, I think this topic might be controversial in the chat and maybe on the panel. Do you think, or have you found that Whatnot could partly be causing slower eBay sales?
No.
You don't think so? Why not? It could be.
I mean, I guess it could, but I don't. I mean, I'm not. If I look at my what I've done this summer or just this last month from what I did last month, last year at this time, I'm the same or better than I was last year. I've been working harder and I've been doing better processes. I've just been, I'm not saying it can't, but I'm just saying I'm not worried about it. I'm not really thinking about that, I guess. I just see I'm making sales and I'm not worried about if I'm worried about if I'm making a ton of sales, but I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't think it, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could a little bit, but maybe not for what I'm selling. I don't know. I mean,
I think it could be. You're right. Depends on what you're selling and how much you're selling it for. You know what I mean? And if there's people that get on Whatnot, it's growing, in popularity now. And if they're finding good deals and it's easier for them, then it probably would cause slower sales on eBay, depending on what they're buying and what you're selling.
I mean, Whatnot, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, Walmart.com. I mean, you can use
Facebook.
Tons. Yeah, you can use tons of different reasons why this is happening. And here's the thing: is you just pivot your business, and so instead of just selling on eBay, maybe you start selling on other platforms as well. You start cross listing. You're going to have some downtime. Everyone ebbs and flows. There's a reason why think of it this way. There's a reason why they call Black Friday, because a lot of retail businesses run in the negative up until that Friday. And when they had Black Friday, that's when they would make their profits for the entire year. So there's a reason for that. So in retail, you have to understand there's a lot of ups and downs. You will have your slow season. You will have your, your good times. You have your bad times. You just have to roll with the punches. You know what we should do, Kat, next week? We should come up with a listing challenge for August to get everybody ready for September in the fourth quarter. So if you guys start listing heavily in August, maybe we'll set goals and we'll have everyone in the chat and everyone do that. And we'll all set goals for August to get ready for fourth quarter. And me and you can do it too. We'll keep ourselves in check, and then we'll check in every week, get everyone in the chat to check in. I think it'll be good. Yeah,
I need something to keep me in line. I'm way out of line lately. So for me, I see in the chat, it is back and forth people's answers. I do not think that Whatnot is causing slower eBay sales overall. That there are not that many buyers on Whatnot. Whatnot is not that big to where it's like this billion customers like eBay has. So if there is an impact, it's probably a very, very small impact. And I know a lot of people are throwing it's Whatnot's fault. It's not what, like, list stuff people want to buy and they'll buy it on eBay, guys.
Here's
like, it's as simple as that.
Kat, Whatnot has approximately 2 million worldwide installations. So that means that means 2 million users. That's it. That's not a lot.
How many does eBay have?
140 million. If I'm not
yeah, but you're taking that 140 million number from eBay.
Correct.
Like, how many accounts do you have on eBay?
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? I have more than one account.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So those eBay, you have to take into consideration. Those are people that might be casual buy once a time, twice a year.
Right.
But
they might not be buying regular.
But the people that go on Whatnot are consistently buying on Whatnot.
Not all of them.
A lot of people.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. I agree with you, but
they pay now on Whatnot, Mike. Maybe
yeah,
you should
they
get back
have to
up
pay
there a
now
little
on
more.
Whatnot. And if Whatnot can do it, why can't eBay do it?
Mercari too.
I mean, Mercari does it. Osh
It's
does
2023. What? It's not 1999. eBay. Come on now. We have 4 days to pay for something. What the hell's going on? It's not.
Listen, Mercari just got labels. All right, so there's hope. They just allowed us to actually use a thermal printer to get labels on Mercari in 2023.
Mercari finally came
So
around.
you know what? There's hope for eBay that we can cross this threshold this year. Let's all cross our fingers.
All right, one more question. It is Cat After Dark. We are after 10 o'clock. Last question, and then I will let these gentlemen tell you goodbye. Jay Wolf wants to know, what is the best source to learn this business for a beginner? I have inventory coming out of my ears because I love to shop.
What's the best source to learn this business for a beginner? I learned most of what I've learned from watching YouTube. But you have to, you don't do everything that they're going to tell you. You have to try stuff out. Just try stuff out. And don't take their word for as the gospel. Just you gotta watch a few people. You'll learn. You'll see who you like to learn from, and then you'll learn from them. And then you're gonna do stuff, and you're gonna make mistakes, and then you got a lot of stuff. So just get listed, and that's about it.
Yeah, I would agree. YouTube is where I learned, most of my stuff. Kat has some good. If you want to take the extra step, she has some subscription model things where you can learn, next level, higher level things. But as you're out and about, if you're reselling, you're going to meet other resellers. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Like Rod said earlier, he sells toys and games, and Dan sells clothes. So, maybe, you meet somebody like that sells something different. You guys can share ideas or talk about things and learn from each other. But I learned a lot from YouTube.
Yeah, I would say YouTube's going to be your great source. Chin King, he's usually in the chat here a lot. He's a great source for beginners. Rachel Strickland's another good one for a lot of beginner stuff. Kat has a bunch of stuff on there. Make sure it is a legit person, though, that you trust and that other resellers can recommend, because there's a lot of bad advice on YouTube. I will say that. There's a lot of bad advice on there. So make sure that you filter it out and ask. If you don't know, ask someone who does. Feel free to send us a private DM, and we can point you in the right direction there. Also, too, if you go to the eBay website, they actually have a section for local meetups, and you can actually find local sellers in your area. Facebook groups have local resellers. I know there's one right here in Florida in the Tampa Bay area. They have a bunch of local resellers that meet up. It's a good way for you to talk to people locally, see what's working, what's not working. But, I mean, you just got to keep learning. I've been reselling on eBay since 1999. I still learn to this day by watching other resellers on YouTube, finding different things they find. We watch them pivot. And, I learned from Kat. I learned from Kevin. I learned from I can list. The list goes on and on here. You have to find what works best for you, because what I enjoy watching, you may not enjoy. So just find someone that you can learn to and someone that you can contact and ask questions to. Like coming on here every week is going to be great because you're going to see new sellers every single week, and that check out their channels because we vet everyone that comes on this channel. We make sure that they will put out quality advice for you guys.
Yeah, so you definitely YouTube, you can search your listing. Yeah, Marsha, 24 years. I started in 99 as well. My oldest son was born in 99 and I wanted to stay home with him. That's how I started on eBay in 1999 as well. Cha-Ching King, I agree. Scott is amazing. He's putting out current how-to videos. I have not done any in a while, but the information is not that different. So I have a playlist with tips and tricks for resellers with like photography on there. I also have like how to list faster, things like that. You got to find somebody that works for you. Like they were saying, different people are selling different things, but there are a lot of us that have basic, like the how to photograph, how to list faster, search for what you're looking for. I am opening up personal one-on-one coaching with individualized plans for people. I'm opening that back up this week. By the end of the week, I haven't done it at all in 2023. I stopped at the end of 2022, but I'm bringing it back. So I will have that if you want like a more personalized and somebody to talk to one-on-one. And yeah, there's a bunch. Scott, Cha-Ching King, myself, Rod, Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, Lavender Clothesline. There's a ton. You got to find who works with you. You're going to mesh with some people. You're not. I know there are a lot of people that come here and watch this Tuesday Night Live and don't watch anything else I do, and I'm okay with that. Perfectly okay with it. Come and get what you need from the channel, and then go and find what you need from other channels. Yeah, we got a whole ton of super chats. I'm going to give you guys all one giant dolphin, the original dolphin, and then I will let the gentleman tell you by what they had going on. Kevin, I am impressed. We held him the entire show. I am totally impressed. So Kevin, thank you for being here. All right, guys, this is for all of those super chats. One last hoorah, and then we'll let the guys say bye. Super chat. Thank you, Rod, for clicking through them.
Yep.
All right, let's make Dan say more than like 5 words, buddy.
Oh, okay. So
okay,
I'm just saying goodbye.
He's going to say like 10 words.
All right. Hey, Kat, Rod, thanks for having me on again. It was good to be on here with my buddy Mike. I had a great time. What do I have? I'll tell you what I have coming up. I do a live tomorrow. I do a live show on Wednesdays in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Central, and it's just me talking about the stuff I sold on Tuesday night. Spoiler, if you come, I'm going to talk about this that I just sold during the show today.
You sold it, huh?
I sold it during the show. I listed this today on a live I was on earlier with my buddy Ken, SSA Promo, where he does a live show where you list 10 items. You try to see who sells the most. And I listed this today and sold this Hello Kitty thing that I learned about from watching YouTube videos, and I sold it for $149.99. Wow. Nice.
I just did a video on Hello Kitty Build-A-Bears.
This is it. Maybe did you just put it out?
Last week. Was it my video?
It might have been your video. I just watched the video, and I don't remember who it was. And I was watching video because I watched.
I just did one with Hello Kitty in it.
I bet you it was you then. I saw a video and they were talking about like the top franchises. Hello Kitty was one of them, and they were talking about different variations of Hello Kitty. And I just was I sold it, and I'm ecstatic right now.
Yay, Dan!
So that's what I got going on. That's more than 5 things.
Good job, Dan. Here's Mike.
Yeah, nice sale, Dan. We were talking about that before the show started. Rod and Kat, thanks for having me on again. If it is my last show, I want to say thanks for all the time you've always had me on. Thanks to all the people in the chat. It was nice meeting all of you. I just get very passionate about this eBay, how they come up with every new thing besides making people pay. Anyway, I had a great time as usual. I have an auction every Sunday night on my YouTube channel, the January Auction House, 7:00 p.m. Eastern. So if you're into that kind of thing, and even if you're not into buying stuff, we always have a great time in the chat. So come stop by and at least say hi. Thanks.
Well, Mike had a nice run, so he had a nice run.
Yeah, I had a nice run. It was like five. I think I was on 5 times. It was nice.
All right. Here's the spiel as always. If we had like 30 questions we did not get to tonight, so send me a message on Facebook or on Instagram. I will answer every single question you guys message me. Please give me a like and follow on Picking and Punching on Facebook. I'm trying to catch up the cat on there. I dropped a new video today called What Happens When You Negotiate at Yard Sales, and it has a guy throwing some guy out at a yard sale. So check that video out. And I have a brand new Whatnot next Monday night at 8:30. I think 8 or 8:30. I don't know. It's going to be vintage toys like Marvel, DC, Star Wars from the 90s. I mean, all brand new in the package. And then also I am doing a bunch of plush. Everything's starting at $2 or $3. So come follow me, get some items to resell.
I wonder how Kevin would have fared at that garage sale.
Oh, he would have been there getting kicked out because the guy didn't like to negotiate. And Kevin doesn't like to pay for anything. If you've ever been picking with him, he likes to give 10 cents on the dollar. That's being generous. So, no, Kevin's great.
Telling Kevin, I will be on Whatnot tomorrow with Silver Plated Gemstone. Thursday is Vintage and Estate, and I think I'm going to take off Friday from resin. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off this week with Dalton's birthday party. I think I might delay a week of resin shows. Thursday, my What Sold video, we actually ran 5 auctions this weekend, and 3 of them sold really high. So some really good high profit items in my What Sold. And I don't know what else. Thank you, Mike and Dan, for coming on. I'm not kicking him off. So if he doesn't come back, it's his choice. I want that to be on record.
Don't believe it.
Kevin, thanks for hanging out with us all night with your plaque. We appreciate you, even if it's only because Blue Ridge Mama's not there. We'll take it. Thank you guys so much. I don't have an outro video tonight. #PayNow. Have a good night. Let me see who's going to be here next Tuesday. Hold your horses.
Just
make
Mike big, and then we'll just hold the sign up, Pay Now, and that'll be the outro.
Guys, next week is a big one. We will have Josh, Harry, Tornado, and Ty. So all of your questions about FlipCon, bring them, because Josh will be here live. Josh, Harry, Tornado, and Tiffy Pie, who you are all going to fall in love with like we did. You will love her. She is amazing.
Yeah, if you guys love Poshmark or want to know how to sell live on Poshmark, it is the show to go to because that's all she does and she specializes in. So,
yes, Poshmark expert next week, and Josh will be here to answer all your FlipCon questions. So come next week. Thank you guys so much.